Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harrison Smith. I'm here in front of beautiful St. Paul's Cathedral in London, England. You can hear the bells in the background there. And while it is very peaceful and nice and pleasant here with lots of tourists walking around, people enjoying their day, the fact is that crime has been increasing in London at an exponential rate. Crime overall has increased in 1 year by about 15%. Murder has increased by 44%. If I can look at some of these numbers, rape has increased 20%, 32% rise in domestic burglary, of which only 1 in 9 are actually solved and convicted. There have been many headlines about police saying basically they have no idea what is to blame for the rise in crime. So we're going to find out whether Londoners have a better idea, whether they have any idea what might be the cause of this increase in crime. Let's find out. What do you think is behind that? What do you think the cause is in this increase in crime?
It's young people perhaps not having enough direction, enough to do, enough to keep, employment, etc. But yeah, it's not something that is particularly surprising or that I'm desperately worried about. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not worried about it, but it's not something that's keeping me awake at night because it's something I think is being dealt with. Okay.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Have a good day. Boredom. Apparently it's boredom.
Not a clue. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Does that concern you?
Not really.
Why not?
Bad.
Maybe.
Maybe we should all just move to New York.
That could be it, but then New York would get more violent. So, do you mind if I ask you a few questions? All right. English people are busy.
I don't know what it would be here. I mean, I just read about it in the paper before I came out here just to watch and stuff, where you're at and the areas you go into and stuff like that. I don't know the good or bad areas in London. I have no clue. Right. But I'm happy to be here. It's a beautiful place. Just got here today and looking forward to everything.
One judge suggests that maybe a way to curb the knife crime would be to blunt knives or to put blunt ends on the knives. You think that'll work?
No, because if somebody wants a knife or a gun, they're going to get one. No matter what kind of laws you have, they're still going to get them. That's just my opinion. I mean, if you want a gun or a knife, you're going to get one, right? That's how I look at it.
Well, I am because I'm an American, so I can do it anyway.
Yeah, right.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Have a good day. Americans always more willing to talk for some reason. I think they like being on camera. It makes sense. We're beautiful people. I mean, here I can give you some numbers. 14% increase in crime, 21% increase in knife crime, 44% increase in murder, 20% increase in rapes. The question is, what would cause such a drastic increase in 1 year? Any idea?
The increased reporting of it.
You think it's just being reported more?
Yeah.
That's not what the police say.
They're
Might be a better way to spend my time. Well, what do you think could cause that? In 1 year, a 44% increase. What could be the cause behind that?
Brexit. Increase of poverty, angriness. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, do you have any clue? Yeah.
Well, police are saying that they don't have the funds to investigate things like shoplifting. But in the same time, they arrested 3,400 people for hate speech online last year. Do you think that's a good use of their time and money?
Yeah, that's crazy because there's a lot of CCTV in London. If you have CCTV, so you can investigate easily, right?
Right. So there's this massive surveillance state, but apparently only 1 in 9 burglaries was actually solved. Somebody was actually arrested.
Yeah. This is really bad, actually. It's bad that you have so much surveillance and no funds and no funds for people to investigate what to do with videos, right?
Oh, I really have no idea about that. I haven't got much of an answer.
Have you heard about it?
Yep.
But does it concern you at all?
Yeah, I mean, I guess to an extent, but the area that I live in isn't particularly affected. I suppose it's obviously linked to cuts in police funding would be the major thing if I think about it.
Yeah, so one of the solutions to that is people are hiring private police forces. So you could pay like £200 a month and a private police force will patrol your neighborhood. Does that sound like a good solution?
Sounds like complete madness to me.
Well, I think you've got to put it in proportion, for one thing. And the crime, say for example, here we are in the middle of London, you're pretty much not going to see any crime. You're talking about the crime that's in the areas of poor housing and all the rest of it.
But there have been poor people there forever. Why in the last year has the violence exploded?
Do you know, I think I don't know the answer to that. I mean, you hear all kinds of things about what's that? There's the grime music scene in the UK, but there's also another music scene which
drill. There's an article today that police are cracking down on internet comments about drill music. Do you think that'll help decrease violent crime?
I don't know the answer to that. Instinctively, I think that it probably won't.
All right, I've got my jacket off, feeling loose. It's time to really ask some questions. Now there's nobody here.
No guns.
Yeah, apparently it's a knife crime. A judge recently suggested they should make knives more blunt. Do you think that'll help?
I don't know.
Maybe they need more. Maybe they need more guns. That's what I think.
Yeah, there you go.
Texans understand that it's hilarious to dull knives to try to fight knife crime.
Yes.
These are your biggest fans.
We are.
Y'all are big fans of InfoWars?
We are.
InfoWars? Literally every morning I wake up, watch InfoWars.
Every day, yeah.
Well, have y'all heard about the increasing violent crime in London and England?
Yes.
What do you think could be the cause of that?
Well, socioeconomic factors.
You know, relative poverty has a direct link with crime rates.
So do you think poverty has increased 44% in the last year?
No, but probably relative poverty. That would mean the gap between the rich and poor.
Okay, you think that has increased in the last year or so?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. That's my assumption. I don't know. I don't claim that I know it, but...
Well, that's what I don't think anybody knows exactly what the cause is. That's what we're trying to find, what people think. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it goes up and down all the time. But I mean, it could just be that a lot of that's just random. That this year there's been a lot more. And
well, the murder rate had been steadily decreasing for decades until about 2015 when it started to tick back up. Do you have any idea what may have happened?
Not really. I can't really remember 2015.
Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with the migrant crisis and the fact that huge amounts of resources are being spent to police people that are being imported into the country.
May also take into consideration the political instability that it has caused.
Some intelligent little kids, man. Info warriors, you can tell.
I don't know why it is, but I haven't really noticed it, to be honest. So, I don't know, you see it on the news, but that's really all it is. It doesn't seem real, so...
Interesting.
I mean, there are problems, but overall, just look around. Lots of happy people having fun in a lovely city, and I think that's perhaps more where I'd focus, but yeah.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Hey, if you can't see the crime, does it really exist? I don't think so. You haven't seen this at all? You have no idea what might be the cause?
No, not really.
No, not really. No
we
idea.
haven't felt it.
No.
Like it's been normal.
It's been as per usual, so yeah, no idea.
Hi, we're asking people.
I'm running
In a rush. All right. Trains come every 2 minutes. That's not a good excuse. The public transport system here is pretty great. She didn't even look at me. Yeah, so right now there's a big push to fight more cybercrime. Do you think it's better to focus on cybercrime and things people say on the internet, or actual crime taking place on the street?
I think the actual crime that takes place on the street, because over the internet you can add extra, you can put a lot of things that most of the time, most probably they're not even true. But looking at what is on the street, that's the most important thing.
I agree.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Take it easy. She should be mayor. Have you heard about this?
Is it increasing a lot?
Yeah, murder's up 44% in 1 year, and just this year in 2018, London has actually surpassed New York City in their murder rate. Police basically say they have no idea why that is. You don't know why that might be?
No. Well, we're not really from around here. I don't really know that much.
Yeah.
Does it concern you though?
Yeah, it does, definitely. Yeah, if that's increasing that much, it's really bad. It's really
Yeah,
bad.
especially if it's worse than New York. New York's supposed to be like so bad for homicide.
Right. So what do you think is behind this rise of crime?
Well, I think that all over Europe there is being sadly a rise in xenophobia, so perhaps tensions in that area, as well as perhaps there is a growing divide between the more disadvantaged people and the more advantaged, and perhaps the more disadvantaged areas of the city are witnessing even more difficulties which is causing conflict.
So one thing that the police are doing is they're really focusing on hate speech online and trying to crack down on people saying naughty things on the internet. They say basically we don't have money to solve shoplifting or burglaries, but last year they put 3,400 people in jail for posting things on the internet. Do you think that's helpful?
Well, of course, one would not want to see any hate speech on the internet, but perhaps this kind of censorship is, on one hand, mitigating this wave of xenophobia. On the other hand, only going to exasperate, on the other side, the people who see their freedom of speech as necessity is repressed. So I don't think that would necessarily decrease crime.
Oh, someone wants to talk to us, someone doesn't. I'm with InfoWars.
Yeah, is that Alex Jones?
It is.
All right, go on then. What were you talking about?
Well, what do you think about Alex Jones first?
I think he's a performance artist.
A good one.
I think he's a horrendous man that's peddling terrible, ridiculous untruths.
What's one of those?
Man, you got to watch obviously you've seen the videos. No, what are you guys doing in London?
Well, we're asking people, but you just said that Alex Jones is known for peddling untruths, so what would one of those be?
Oh man, it's the frogs for one thing.
Okay, but that's true. That's a study out of UC Berkeley. It's atrazine. It's chemical runoff from plants. No? Ooh, hit him with the truth and they walk away. Hit him with the truth and they walk away. Oh, he's so eager to talk to us. And then, of course, it's always the gay frogs. It's like, dude, you're arguing with a UC Berkeley scientist. You're not arguing with Alex Jones. Alex Jones just brought it up. He didn't make it up. I like that guy. I thought he was going to say some cool stuff. But then they just run away.
For Alex Jones.
I am, yeah. What do you think about him?
He's a pretty dope guy. I'm actually pretty agreeing with, I'm actually agree with his ideology and everything else. Although I'm not a Republican. I'm actually not anything. I'm actually underage.
No, that's great. Well, so we're just asking people what they think. There's been a massive spike in crime in England and London in particular, and we're just wondering if anybody has any idea what might be behind that.
Thing is, my personal experience was that British police actually just arrests kids and everything else, everyone else, just for not having a ticket, but not for example, stealing a motorbike or something, which is a huge problem currently in the UK. I spoke with multiple, well, let's say criminals, because they are criminals, and so they said that they're not checked by police, and so that's how they are stealing everything, scooters, ATVs, and everything else.
Oh, that's amazing. Sorry, do you mind sort of elaborating on that? Who were you talking to? What were they saying?
I was talking to somebody I don't want to disclose to who it is, but he was my age. I'm 15 currently, and so yeah.
And what did he say? That he could just sort of commit crime with impunity?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And so did he say that the police would approach him and then just not arrest him, or that they would just turn a blind eye?
Pretty much nothing. Nobody arrested him. Well, his friend was arrested, but it was kind of a misluck, it was just really on a random time,
A lot of people are basically trying to become gangsters, not because they actually want to. It is because they want to act cool. If you think about gangs, it is basically small tribes in the civilized world. So basically what you're trying to do is you want to be edgy and fun, but this is not what you have to do. Not only that, is you don't have any money in London. So it's kind of it depends in what areas you live. It's not that rich, and a lot of kids, they either want to be cool, like I said, or they want to support their family, but I don't think that's the wisest decision.
Say hi to Kim for me.
I will, absolutely. You can always tell InfoWarriors, man. They're smart. They got sparks in their eyes. They think about things. They aren't dumbed down. It's good to see. 15-year-olds. Those kids were 15. All right, so got a lot of answers, a lot of blank stares, a lot of, well, that's just happening over there, or, oh, those are just poor people. They're just going to do that sort of thing. Not a lot of solutions and not a lot of underlying causes being speculated about. It seems like people are fine to turn a blind eye to something that is not affecting them personally, and to me that might be the actual root cause of the problem, is that people are not willing to face problems that aren't affecting their lives personally, or as long as they're comfortable, nothing is causing them discomfort, then they're not going to care about it or do anything about it, and it's sort of this just sort of resigned, well, the police are trying, and if they're failing, oh well, that's all we can do. So as far as I can tell, crime's just going to keep increasing because no one seems to have any idea how to make it stop. For Infowars.com, this is Harrison Smith.
Clean, pure drinking water. You can't survive without it. But where do you get it? Alexa Pure Pro is a brand new, groundbreaking, gravity-fed water filtration system that is like no other. The Alexa Pure Pro transforms water from virtually any fresh source into clean, healthy drinking water, pairing the unprecedented superfiltration power of an all-new gravity block core with a hybrid chromatic shell. It removes up to 99.999% of impurities, including bacteria, viruses, fluoride, disinfectants, volatile organic contaminants, and hormones. Filter capacity up to 5,000 gallons. Stainless steel construction, easy assembly, low maintenance. Replacement filters are simple to install. And now, as part of an exclusive limited time introductory offer, you can save $20 off the retail price and get free shipping. This is a limited time offer, so order your unit today and receive free shipping and $20 off. Go to InfoWarsStore.com or call 888-253-3139.